Hi everyone, welcome back. So in this video, we are exploring two powerful keywords in Kotlin, continue and break. So these keywords allow us to control how loops execute and can be really useful for making our code more efficient. So let's start with the basics. So first we are going to talk about the break keyword. The break keyword immediately stops the execution of a loop and exit it. So when break is encountered in a loop, it exits the loop entirely even if the loop condition has not finished. So let's see this through an example here. So in this example, we will see how can we break out of a loop. So for that, first I'm going to create a loop and I'm going to define the range 1 to 10 here, and I'm going to put a condition. So if the value of I is equal to 5, we are going to break from this loop. Okay, so outside of this if condition, I'm going to print each iteration. Okay, so in this example we have a for loop that counts from 1 to 10. When I reaches to 5, the break keyword stops the loop. So as a result, the loop only prints 1 to 4 and then it exits when I is equal to 5. So let's run this to see. Okay, so as you can see, it has printed values from 1 to 5, 1 to 4, and it has break the loop when the value of I is equal to 5. So when to use break? You would typically use break when you have found what you are looking for in a list or range and want to stop further execution. It is especially useful in large datasets where you only need a specific item, making your code faster and more efficient. So now let's talk about the continue keyword. The continue keyword skips the current iteration of a loop and moves on to the next one. This is helpful if you want to skip certain items based on a condition. So let's see this through an example. How can we skip with the continue keyword? So for that, I'm going to change the value to continue here, and here I'll change the condition to 3. So when the value of I is 3, it will skip that iteration and it will print all other iterations. Okay, so in this example, we have a loop that counts from 1 to 10, and when the I is equal to 3, the continue keyword tell the loop to skip the iteration. Okay, so it prints 1 2 4 uh, 5 and up to 10. Okay, so let's run this to see. Okay, so as you can see, it has only skipped the third iteration here, and it has printed all other values. So when to use continue? So use continue when you want to skip specific element without stopping the loop entirely. This can be useful for filtering out unwanted items or ignoring specific cases. Okay, now let's see how can we use the break and continue in a while loop. So for that, I'm going to change the code first. Okay, so for that, I'm going to create a counter variable here, and I'm going to assign a value 1 here, and here I will create a while loop, and here I'm going to put the condition. And here we will increment the counter. So in this example, the while loop run as long as the counter is less than or equal to 5. So when counter reaches 3 here, the break statement stops the loop, so we only see 1 and 2 in the output. So let's run this to see. Okay, so as you can see, it has stopped the execution when the value of counter is 2. Okay, now let's see how can we use a continue in a while loop. And for that I'm going to make changes in the code, and I'm going to uh, assign a value 0 to counter here, and I'm going to increment the counter here, and I will change this value to less than 5 here. And here I will change the break keyword with continue keyword. Okay, so here I will print the counter value. Okay, so here continue skips printing 3 but allows the loop to continue. So the loop goes from 1 to 5 but skips 3 when continue is called. So let's run this to see. Okay, so as you can see, it has printed the expected output here. So now let's see how can we use break and continue with labels. So in nested loops, you can use labels to control which loop break or continue affects. Okay, now let's see how can we break out of a specific loop. So for that, first I'm going to change the code here. Okay, first I'm going to add the outer loop. Okay, so it will run from 1 to 3, and here I'm going to create one more loop here to make it a nested loop. So it will start from 1 to 3. Okay, so here I'm going to put a condition. So when the value of outer loop iteration is 2 and the value of inner loop iteration is 2, it is going to break from the outer loop. So here I will say break from outer loop. Okay, so here I'm going to print the value of I and j. Okay, so in this example we have nested for loops. So when I is equal to 2 and j is equal to 2, so break out outer loop breaks out of the outer loop entirely, skipping all remaining iterations. So this is a great way to exit a specific loop when you are inside the nested loop. So let's run this to see. Okay, so as you can see, it has break out of the outer loop when the value of I is equal to and j is equal to 2. So it has printed up to when the j value is equal to 1. Okay, now let's see how can we use the continue outer loop. So for that I'm going to change a condition here, and I'm going to put a condition when the value of j is equal to 2, it will only skip that iteration. So I'm going to change this to continue keyword here. Okay, so here continue outer loop tells the program to skip the next iteration for outer loop whenever j is equal to 2. So for each I, it will skip printing when j is equal to 2. So let's run this to see. Okay, so as you can see, it has skipped when the value of j is equal to 2. Okay, so that's it for break and continue in Kotlin. These keywords are powerful tool for controlling loops efficiently. So thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this tutorial, please like and subscribe. See you in the next one.